Hello, hello. Welcome in, Pudgy Wudgy. You are first. The chat's not showing anything because it filters out things like that, but if you say something else, it should show up in the chat bar on the right, if it's working properly. How are you today? Well, you are still sick. Do I sound sick, do I? Or do you mean sick like, you're totally sick, man? Like, yeah, so cool. I don't pull that off, do I? I sound like I'm on my deathbed. Really? Oh, right. Okay, that's not good. I don't feel like I'm on my deathbed, but I do, I guess. I do have a sore throat, I guess. I better drink some water. Subpipe. Why does it say subpipe? Oh! LeagueBot. Okay. Thanks, LeagueBot thing that I set up that I forgot all about. And a hype. What's going on? Thank you, Pudgy Wudgy. Thank you, Redstoner. Why is that a hype train already? What? Thank you. Pudgy Wudgy for 18 months. That's 1.5 years. Wow. And Redstoner for 14, just over a year. Hi. How you going? Sorry if I sound sick. I didn't realise that, but I guess I do have a sore throat. So that might be why you're saying that. But Bear, you got to go. You're at work. No worries. No worries. It's been more than that. Oh. Well, it says 6 to 18 months, so that means you've been subscribed for that long. You might have been following for longer, but you've been subscribed for that long. Let me just get some water. I literally have a box of water right near me that I'm filling up my drink bottle with. So I am unlikely to run out of water anytime soon. But I'll get some of that to help my throat. How are you all going? Hopefully all the little things work today. If I click this button, let's see if someone hits me. There you go, they missed. Cool. Okay, so that works. That's good. Then we've also got other things here. I've got, for example, dedicated MC. It will help me a lot if you click that link and have a look at the website. Even if you don't plan on getting a server, to click that link, it helps me a lot. But if you do want a server, you can get 15% off the first month as well. But even just clicking the link does help me a lot because they pay for the Scoutcraft server right now. They're covering the cost of that. And in order for them to continue covering the cost of that, I need to get a certain number of clicks every month and stuff like that. So it does actually help. It doesn't give me money, but it saves me money. If that makes sense, because I don't have to pay for myself. But what I'm planning to do today is try to work on making a game, which I'm not very good at because I'm unfamiliar with the tools, but I'm going to see how we go. No, that's currently disabled. Let me just get my jacket because I am actually feeling a bit cold. I should probably put my jacket on. I'll ask you a question. Does it sound like my voice is ready for singing right now? Probably not.
Maybe there's a happy little tree that lives right
happy
here.
Little tree. Planting a tree. Well, we still have cut down 8, so I'm not complaining. Thank you for spending your points to plant a tree. These tree huggers, forest lovers. What are we going to do with you? I need to do some animations for that, actually. I need to get like a planting tree and a chopping down tree animation or something. So. Here we are. So this is a thing I've been working on just through tutorials and testing and stuff using Godot, the game development tool. And I've got my controller plugged in as well. If I show you what I've got so far, it's basically just this thing moving around. And I don't know how to get this behind. It's currently behind the thing, which is why it's a little bit faint. But I can drive this forwards and backwards and left and right. And what I'm trying to make, just because why not, is this makes me think of one of those Roomba vacuum cleaners. So I'm thinking of trying to make a vacuum cleaner simulator. Just for the sake of making a game. So the idea is you drive your little vacuum cleaner around. It's kind of like that that power washer game, right? Where you wash things and you gotta clean all the dirt off. So the idea is that you drive your little vacuum cleaner around, but you'll have things in the way. Like you'll have cables that you gotta dodge, otherwise they'll get tangled up. You'll have a charge that you'll run out of battery if you don't do it fast enough or you don't charge. You'll have like cats getting in the way. You'll have all kinds of little things happening, I'm thinking. And you'll have like chairs and all kinds of obstacles to get around. It's kind of like a goat simulator / paint power washer simulator mix for vacuum cleaning. And maybe you could even get different kinds of vacuum cleaners or something in the future. I don't know. But that's just as an excuse to play around with stuff. That's what I'm thinking. Sounds like a Mario mini game. Yeah. So this could be released on computer. Could be released on Nintendo Switch. It could be released on Android, iPhone, that kind of thing. So I mean, at first I'm just thinking I'll play around with it and not release it at all. But if it becomes fun enough to release, I might put it on like the website, on my website, or even on the computer or Steam or something, as a free game or a really cheap game or something. I think they charge like $100 a year to games on there, so maybe if it's a $1 or $2 game to cover costs or something. But either way, that's not the plan yet. The plan is just to experiment and learn how to make it, and it may not even ever be released. This little icon is the Godot icon, the little robot icon. But I'm just using that for now. But imagine this is your little vacuum cleaner, and I just got to experiment with making things work. So what I want to figure out how to do first, which is going to take me a while, is I'll put this background on here, right? So if I exit this, if I go to here, and we go down to here. You can do 3D games in that as well, but I'm currently doing this as a 2D game. If I get rid of the color rect and refresh this, you'll see that you can see that character a bit better now. So what's going on is this color is in front of it somehow, whereas I thought it was behind it. Whereas if I put it down here instead, it's also behind it. So I don't know why is doing that. So let's just disable that for now. Yeah, let's just disable that for now, and I'll deal with why that's doing that later. But for now, we'll just not have a color at the background. We'll just have the grey, because then we can see our little guy better, right? Lego lizard vacuum. No. How are you all going today, by the way? I didn't plan on streaming. I didn't really even feel like streaming, but now that I'm streaming, I don't mind it. I thought I was just going to do it anyway. I haven't streamed for a while, and see how we go. And it gives me an excuse to work on this. Hype train complete at level 1, 63%. Awesome. 2 sub gifts. Wait, 2 sub gifts. Wait, were they gift subs, were they? No, they were personal subs. Okay, I don't know why it says sub gifts on my little thingamabob. That's interesting. Anyway, I've got to follow the instructions, right? So I've got to go. I've got like the documentation over here, which you can't see, but I've got like the documentation I can read and stuff like that. So it's going to be a bit of trial and error. Let's see if we can figure out how this all works. But I am open for ideas, like in terms of what we can do. Maybe if someone wants to keep a list or something, maybe we put a list in Discord or something. If someone wants to maintain a list of ideas. Another tree! I might need to change this price. You're planting them too fast. You're going to have a forest soon. Thanks for spending your points. Thanks for watching. If you have any feature ideas or things like that we could add in the future, feel free to just throw them out there. And if someone wants to maintain like a Discord thread or something for it, It'd have to be a thread in one of the forums or something. I don't know. I have to think about how where that makes sense. But at the moment, it's very early days, and it's just getting something working, right? I will show you some other stuff that I did with the tutorial. So what I'll do is I'll show you this. So I can also go quit to project list. These are the other ones I did. These are a little bit more interesting. So if we go, for example, you got this one. This is following a tutorial here. If it loads, it doesn't crash. What's it doing? There we are. Okay, so this game, you got to basically run around and dodge the thingamabobs. Makes a lot of noise. Can you hear that? Yeah, you can hear that noise. Oops. I don't know if you can hear that noise. No, you can't. Yeah, no, you can't hear that noise. Okay, so how do we get that noise in here now? How about I do I'll do a audio input maybe? Give me a sec. Audio output capture. And we'll say it's Godot audio capture. And we're going to do it from... Oh. No, I don't really have a choice, do I? Yeah, never mind. I have to do it through. I just have to share my desktop audio with you. So if we click this, put the volume down. Watch out for that tree! Planting lots of trees now. How many points do you have? So the idea with this is, you got this little guy, you can hear that now, and you got to dodge these other squids. And the longer you last, the higher the point score goes up. So, oh my gosh. Okay, so I got a score of 10, for example. And that's basically the way the game works. And this is just following a tutorial, so I haven't got full credit for how this all works. But, yeah, there you go. That's the general gist of it, right? But then you can also make a 3D game. So, for example, we go to quit to project list. Squids should be vanilla slices. So if I go to the 3D version of the same thing, it's got a few extra features. There you go. So you can jump, and you can actually capture them and jump on their heads and take them out. Oh, well, or I do that. Jump on their head and you get 1 score. There you go. So I got a score of 7. I don't know if you... Yeah, you can hear me over that music, can't you? But you get the general gist of it, right? That's how it works. So... That's cool. So you can do... That's the kind of thing you can make with it. With just, like, a couple of hours easily, following a tutorial. So I'm trying to make something more custom now. This is where I'm getting stuck, because I'm not just following a tutorial. I've got to do stuff that doesn't tell me step by step how to do it, right? So that's the plan, to try to do some more stuff with that. Now we can change graphics later. We can do all kinds of things later. But I'm trying to get the basic thing working, so that I can... Can you edit your character into a Leiger head and make it vanilla slices? Technically, yes. Technically, yes. And I spent a bit of time trying to get this control scheme working well. So the way this works is my joystick can steer left and right only, but then I use A and B to go forwards and backwards, because I found that was the best way to have the kind of movement I wanted. I didn't want it to be that you could freely move too easily left and right, like a vehicle. But if you're using the keyboard, WSAD, this is what I'm using now, it's more traditional movement.
Trees are great.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna have a forest soon. -5. That's going up fast. And now I'm too hot. Like, hot and sexy. No, I'm too hot as in too warm with my jacket on now. I'm either too warm or too cold. Can't win. So, let's exit this. Actually, I even put a button in here. Yeah, there you go. I put a dedicated button for quitting. So if I press select on the Nintendo Switch joypad, it exits as well. So, you notice that if I go into here, you can do all kinds of settings. So you can go input map, and moving forward is either W, and you've got WSAD, right? WSAD for up, down, left, right. Or I've got up, down, left, right as the arrows. Or I've also got mapped it to like the joypad. So I've got, for example, the Sony circle, Xbox B, or the Nintendo A, and vice versa. That one is moving forwards, whereas the Sony Cross, the Xbox A, or the Nintendo B moves backwards. And you can do this kind of thing. Whereas I've got the joystick left and right to actually steer. And then I've got the toggling vacuum. That's something I haven't implemented yet, but the idea was you'd be able to turn on the vacuuming mode. Too sexy for my jacket. Sounds like the lyrics to a song. Too sexy for my jacket. So the idea is that you could be able to turn on the vacuum mode, but it will drain more power faster. So maybe that's something I could try to do now, is I'll implement a battery level or something, and while you're vacuuming, it drains the battery faster. But then the idea is, I'm thinking is, you try to complete a room in the fastest time, by factoring in that if you can't complete the entire room within the charge cycle, you've got to figure out how much you charge for without wasting charge time. So you just charge enough just to finish the room off. And you've got to figure out, well, you want to only be vacuuming when you need to. If you're going back over a part you've already vacuumed, you want to turn it off.
Come on.
And you manage your power levels or something. I don't know if that will be fun, but it's just an excuse to try to play with stuff. I am going to have to change those channel points very quickly. You're getting very close to 0. So, also, yeah, and then to actually quit the game, I put a dedicated button in here. You can actually press the Nintendo minus button, or the Xbox back button, or the Sony select button to quit the game as well. So it just means I don't even have to click the keyboard on the computer to quit the game. But also, where was it? I think it was down here. 2D physics. So I'm having different layers. So this allows me to choose what can interact with what and what can hit each other. So if I go to the player, for example, I go over here, you'll see that I'm saying this is on the player level. But mask is what it can collide with. So it can collide with the dirt that it can pick up. It can collide with enemies. Raid! Oh, hello. Welcome in. How are you going? I want to dance to this now. I keep forgetting I've got this amazing music on here. Thank you very much for raiding, Paprika. You're a legend. I think I've got a special button for that. Where is it? If I click the button, that button, it'll automatically, shout out the person who raided me last. Paprika, you're awesome. So Paprika was just streaming his artwork and Blender Minecraft 3D animation stuff. And he does that regularly, so you should definitely go check out Puka if you like Minecraft, if you like animation, if you like Blender, or if you just like having a good time. Go check out Puka. Godot, yes, so I'm just trying to learn how to use it, basically. I've done a few tutorials, but I'm very fresh on it. So if anyone's more familiar, I would love the advice. You're going to dash after joining the raid. No worries. Okay, fair enough, Dr. Animal. Hey, Becca, welcome back and subscribing. Thank you very much. You're a legend. But yes, absolutely thank you for following, for raiding Puka, and anyone else who doesn't know who Puka is, go and follow him. Yeah, and there was a lot of spitting. Exactly. So if you like the idea of hearing camels spitting constantly, go and watch Puka's VOD. It was a very unique stream. I'll put it that way. So what I'll do then is, because the people just joined, I'll show you what I just showed everyone else. So there's a few tutorials that I've already done. So you've got the 2D game that you go through, and I've mapped this to my Nintendo Switch gamepad so I can play it on there. But these are the basic tutorials, and I'm trying to make a custom one now, right? Trying to make a custom game. This is a 2D game, and you put the sound on. You've got to dodge these things.
Maybe there's a happy little tree that lives right here.
and basically survive as long as you can. Oops, and I just died already. So the 4 is how many seconds you survive for. So if I see if I can do it one more time. It's just following their tutorial. So this is, if you want to make this yourself, you can go on the Godot website and learn how to do this. But basically, that's how it works, right? And I just intentionally died there. Then you can go even more advanced and do 3D games. So if I show you the 3D version of the same thing. Where are we? Pudgy's planting trees again. we're almost getting to a forest. We've got 3 cut down trees so far. But we started with 7, so I think you've planted 4 trees so far. So if I play the 3D version to show you how this works. This one can jump. And you got to jump. You don't score anything by surviving. You got to jump on top of them and kill them. And I just completely miss. But if you jump over there, that's 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. 4. Apparently I've got 9. I don't know how the score works. I must have done that wrong. But you get the idea. You can do all kinds of things in here. That's the idea now. If I go to quit this, is to go to a really dodgy one. Which is my own custom one now. Which is this one. Good and evil Blender logos. Ah! Yeah. You've done 5 or 6 trees. So this one now, I'm thinking of doing, just as an experiment, a vacuum simulator. So you've heard of Goat Simulator. You've heard of Power Wash Simulator. Merge the 2, and you are now a Roomba. Vacuuming a house. And you'll have to compete with cables. You'll have to compete with furniture and tables. You'll have to compete with a cat trying to attack you. And things like that. And you have to deal with your power management as well. You only have a certain amount of power. And you've got to deal with that before you have to go and charge again. And just there's a whole bunch of mechanics that you can do there. And so I'm going to use that as an excuse to learn more about how Godot works. And so that's what I'm making here. I'm trying to make a vacuum cleaner simulator. For lack of a better term. And so this is our little vacuum cleaner so far. So what I might do first is I'm going to just get things going. I might try implementing a power level, right? So we start at 100 and the power slowly drains. So if we do, what we can do is we can add it. I believe I can add a timer, and I am very fresh to this, so I might make mistakes, but let's see how we go. Let's do battery timer. Let's name it. And then what we can do is we're going to, every 1 second is how long it goes. And do we want to start straight away? I think yes, we want to start straight away. One shot means it goes once and then stops, but we want it to keep going around, right? We want it to loop. Every 1 second it's going to process. And I think every 1 second we're going to determine, well, if we're moving right now, we're draining battery. Or if we're vacuuming as well, we're draining more battery. But if we're not moving, I don't know, it's like a lower level. We'll do something like that. So, if we go into the main thread now, and I go, oh, I attach script. No, it's player, is it? Right. Yeah, so I've got to, I am, don't know where I put all this stuff. Right, okay. So in the process threads, this runs every step of the thing, so it's running constantly. What we can, no, actually what we want to do is we're going to go to the timer. We're going to go node, and we want to go timeout. So what that means is when it reaches 0, and because it's 1 second, it's going to reach 0 every second, right? So when it reaches 0, we are going to, on the player, create an on battery timer timeout event. We're going to link that. And we know that it worked because this little thing is here. So on the battery timer, when it times out, we trigger this on the player. And so we're going to run this thing. So if we do, like, for example, where's the text here? Print. So if we do print battery timer, right? You'll see how this works. So if I press F5, pay attention down here, and you'll see battery timer, see every second it's going off? So this is going to trigger this function every second. And that's the intention here, right? So, if we now what we want to do is we want to say if we're no, actually what I'm going to do, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some values up here. The var battery drain stopped is like 1, right? But if we're moving, then we drain 2 battery. And if we're vacuuming, we drain like 4 or something, right? So if you've got the vacuum running as well, you drain a lot more battery. That's the idea. Welcome in, Bon Morjo. Thank you for following. Actually, I haven't... Yeah, thank you for following. Appreciate you. You're a legend. So the idea is we've got different battery drain levels depending on what we're actually doing. And so every second, we're going to check what we're doing at that time. And then we're going to drain the battery by a certain amount. So we might also want battery... You know what we're going to do? We're going to do export. Battery capacity equals, say, 100, right? And the idea behind this, the reason you do export... Wait, why is that giving me a problem? Unexpected identifying class by... bar, battery. So the reason we do export here is because what happens then is it appears up here. And that means I can change this value for each instance of the player. So if I have like a different type of vacuum cleaner, it can have more or less battery capacity, right? So I can increase the battery capacity for one. So I can say this one's double the battery capacity. So this is the default still, but for this instance it's 200. But I can also revert back to the default. So I'm going to keep it as 100 for now. Just assume it's like 100%. And basically every second, so this means if you aren't moving, you'll last 100 seconds. This is pretty short, but we'll just use it for demo purposes, right? Whereas if you are moving, you're only going to last like 50 seconds. And if you're vacuuming, which we haven't implemented yet, you'll last for even less than that. We might have to increase this a bit, right? Or maybe we can do 0.5, 1.0, 2.0, right? Something like that. We'll do this. Then the other thing we want to do is we want to be able to display the score. But what I'm going to do is for now, what we're going to do is we want to display the score on the screen. But for now, I'm going to just log it down here. So every time we do this, we're going to print score. I think you could do percentage and then battery level. Not battery capacity. We want current battery level, don't we? Yeah, okay. So we want battery level. We want to start at the max, right? Let's do that. When we initialize, when we start, we want to set the battery level equals the battery capacity. We want to start with full battery, right? That makes sense? Every time the game starts. What's this telling me? Pass error. Okay, I've done something wrong. Here we are. Battery level. I think that's how that works. And so every second it will tell me what the battery level is, which it should just say at 100 because we're not actually lowering it. Yeah, not much, but it's for the demo, right? For while we're working on it. We can adjust things later. So at the moment, we're not expecting it to lower. Well, we had an issue. Okay, incomplete format in operator. Right, okay, so how do we now... I wonder how I can do this. So battery level, how about... Can I do like a plus there? Is it just... I'm just guessing here. Can I concatenate like that? Otherwise, I'm going to have to look up the documentation. Nope, that didn't work either. Okay, let me look up the documentation for how to do this. So if I go print, I've got built-in documentation here. So print ABA prints... Okay, that's an array. That's a string, and then it's a value. So I think commas in that is what that's telling me. So if I just do a comma here, that will do what I want it to do, I think. Let's play this. Okay, it hasn't crashed. That's a good sign. And here we are, battery level 100 every second. It's triggering the battery level, right? That is doing what we want. We're making some progress here. So then, the next thing we want to do is lower the battery level. So, display. And we are going to move this out of the console and into the screen later. But maybe what we could do is maybe have a little battery level on here and you can see when it's draining. But for now, we'll just do like a number up there. But just to get it working, we'll do it down on the console for now. So we'll show the current battery level, but before we do that, we need to actually lower the battery, right? Drain the battery. So that depends on what we're currently doing. So I guess we want to determine if we are moving. So the velocity is a temporary variable. Somehow we need to get what the current velocity is. Well, what we can do is we can drain. What we can do is we'll do the stopped one, right? That's a simple one. So if we'll just say stopped, moving, vacuuming, right? And the stopped one's easy. We'll do an if condition later. We'll just do like if true right for now. If true, then battery level minus equals battery drain stopped. And what this means, for those who aren't aware, battery level minus equals is basically like saying battery level is equal to the battery level minus that value. It's just a shorthand way of doing that. So it's whatever it is right now minus this thing, which is like 0.25. But we can do that as minus equals shorthand. And that should drain the battery slowly, just no matter what. We refresh. There we are. See? So the battery level is going down. It's draining slowly. So that's what we want, right? So, how about I drain that a bit faster? Let's do 1.5, 1.2 or whatever. Just so it drains a bit faster. We're not going to have it that fast later, but if we do this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to deal with what happens when you run out of battery. There we are. So this is about 50 seconds it's going to go for. Let's make it even shorter again. Let's just do like 5 seconds or something. This is going to be about 20 seconds before it runs out of battery. So we can drive around, and then once it gets to 0, the idea is that it will like die or something, right? Let's make that even faster again. This will be about 10 seconds, I think. There you go, 90%, 80%, so the battery's draining really fast. It's a very, very inefficient vacuum cleaner. And the idea is this is going to keep going to 0, right? But that's where we need to deal with what happens when you reach 0. So, I think, if I look up the documentation now, I believe you can do, what are they called? If I go to battery timer, no, signals, that's what they're called. If I look up how to do signals in the documentation, custom signals. Here we are. So the way to do a signal is we have a signal up here, which is like, if for those who are aware of how event listeners work, if an event happens, there's all these things that are listening for that event, and when the event happens, they do something. Vacuum blows up the end. Yeah, we can make it explode or something. Yeah, exactly. So signal, battery, empty, right? So we're going to flag an event when the battery's empty. Right. And now, if I go to the player, I got a node. We've now got a battery empty signal here, which is what we just created, right? So when the battery is empty, for now, on battery empty, we're going to do something here, right? So how about we go So one thing we're gonna do is we're going to get the timer, the battery timer. Nope, that doesn't want to work. Okay. I guess it would be... No, it would have to be a child of that, wouldn't it? Battery timer. Stop. So we're going to stop the timer from running when it's empty. Right, that's the first thing we're going to do, so it doesn't go negative. And also, we're going to say here... if empty, emit signal. And I don't know how this emitting works. Let me just check this up now. I think it's something like battery empty dot emit. There we are. And that basically says, here we are. So if battery level is less than or equal to 0, then we're gonna set it at 0 exactly, right? Because if it's like -5, we want to reset it back to 0. So 0 is the minimum, but we also then want to emit this event. And what's going to happen is that is then going to be caught here, and we're going to run this and stop the timer. So it will stop processing this constantly, right? We don't want to keep running this when we're not doing anything. And then we'll just do a log message for now, right? So print battery is dead. Game over. Right? We can deal with this more later. We can actually do things. We can pop up game over screens. We can do all kinds of things. But for now, let's see if that process works. Oh, wait. The other thing... Oh, yeah. So currently, we're still going to be able to move around if we do this, but that's fine. But keep in mind in the battery level down here. So I'm driving around and stuff. And then gets to 0, and battery level's dead. There you go. So that worked. It got to 0. It stopped lowering the battery, and it's like, you're dead. Game over. Right? So now, how do we do the movement? I want to disable the movement, because when the battery's dead, I can't move, right? So... Oh, there's the process, right, is the moving. One way I could do it is say, if the battery level is greater than 0, check for movement. But I think the other way to do it... Handle game exit. We might want to still do that. The other way to do it is just to stop processing. And... I thought there was a way to do that. Looking at documentation. Don't know. What I might just do for now, I'm just going to make it work. I'm just going to literally just wrap this. So, position. So what's going on here is if we're going left or right, we're changing the direction. Either left or right, and then we're basically rotating to face that direction. So it's always facing the way that we're moving, and then we're actually moving, right? So if we're moving forwards or moving backwards, it's then going in that direction at the speed it can travel, or if it's going backwards, it's just going like -1 means reverse direction, right? This is handling facing in the direction that you're going. This is handling actually moving forwards and backwards. And then position basically uses that information. So all of this handles movement. So if we just say, if battery level is greater than 0, we can do all this stuff, right? Otherwise, we're not going to do that stuff. That might be all we need to stop the battery from working when we get to 0. Yes! Puka's awesome. How are you going, Veilshire? So this vacuum cleaner is running, and now I'm literally dead. Like I just run out of power. I can't move anymore. So that's working, right? Battery ran out and it's dead. So now the next thing to do, I think I'm just going to keep the battery level stuff down here for now, right? We can always deal with the UI later. What's the next logical thing? probably the next logical thing is like to have the camera moving and following this. Because look, I can go off the screen and then you can't see me, but I am still here, right? So you kind of want the camera to follow this. And I just ran out of battery. Like, why can't I move? It works too well. Okay. The other thing we want to do is when we're moving, we want to see if we can drain the battery faster. So I think if we're moving, we drain it at 10. But this is way higher than it needs to be. Let's do that for now. Right. So at the moment, we're draining it at the same rate at all times. But we want to be able to detect if we're moving, then we're going to drain it faster. You know what? I'm going to say battery level minus equals battery drain amount. Battery drain. And I'm going to do up here, I'm going to do a local var battery drain. 0. So by default, it doesn't drain it by anything. And we're going to put battery drain here. Because then I can say something else. If this one's true, battery drain is battery drain moving. This one is true, battery drain vacuum. But we've got to figure out how these true conditions work, right? Because at the moment, this is always true, always true, always true, right? And what's happening here, for those who aren't programmers, the way it works is that we're setting this value, but if this one is also true, we're just ignoring that. We're basically overwriting it, right? So this is the value instead of that one. And so this ends up being this, and this is what we end up taking off from the battery level. So what we're going to end up having is the vacuum speed, which is like 20% every second. It's only going to last 5 seconds if we do this. Theoretically. Let's just make sure that it actually does that. Yep, 80%, 60% battery, 40%, 20, and I'm dead. So there's the battery level exiting really, really fast. So now I'm going to put that one as false because we don't actually have the ability to vacuum yet, right? That's not actually a feature we've added yet. But we can move. So I need to figure out if we are moving or not. I'm going to put this one to the lowest. I'm going to keep it as just that one for now. Let's make it last for 100 seconds. And we're just going to see if we can figure out if we're moving. So I think the velocity, which is whether we're moving or not, is local to this. So I don't actually have access to that. Oh, I've got angular speed. I wonder what debugging information I have access to. If I run this now, again. Do I have access to this over here? Player. Speed is 400. Angular speed is 3.1. Okay. Those values aren't changing. Okay. Oh no, sorry, the battery level is going down here. So, nothing here is changing. Other than the battery level, nothing here is changing to say that we're actually running. Okay. So I don't have access to any properties that tell me that I'm moving. So I wonder if I can if it's just as simple as making this velocity that's currently inside this function. So what I can do is I can bring it up here. What if I just do velocity there? And then I will need to not define it here. Do I now have access to that everywhere? Don't know. I can't actually see speed and battery capacity. Where's all those other things gone? I don't know. Okay. What I'm going to do here is going to try just debugging. I will do... velocity and see what that comes up with, right? So we're going to append the velocity on the end there. What did you end up getting when you were shopping? Where was I? Oh, here we go. Look, look, look. Okay, so right, when I'm moving, it's got numbers. When I'm not moving, it's got 0. Okay, so that's the information we need. We can tell if we're moving, right? It tells me which direction I'm moving and everything, but that's fine. In fact, that might be the speed that I'm going and everything. I think that's actually, if I go straight up and down... No, it's the direction. It's not the speed, it's the direction. Okay. So, but that's helpful. Right, so now we have access to something that tells me that we're moving. So, if I look at velocity vector 0... Yeah, so this means we're not moving. Anything that's not this means we are moving. I think that's how it works. So... if we're stopped, so basically we'll always drain by at least that much, minimum, no matter what, every second, right? If we're moving. But if we're not moving, I guess if we're on charge dock, charging, you'd actually be increasing it. So battery drain charging would be negative something, right? Like -5. You'd actually be increasing in your battery when you're charging, right? But we're not actually doing that yet, but we'll just add it in here. Right, for later. So, the default battery drain is just when it's not moving. But if we're moving, then what it is velocity is not equal to... I don't even know if that's... Oh, I think it's just the word not. Velocity is not equal to this. I think that's that, right? And for debug purposes, I'm going to say... unknown. Just so I can see what's going on. Stopped. Moving. Vacuuming. Charging. Right, and then we're going to chuck this debug on the end. Actually, we'll just do it as bracket. There we are. So now, hopefully it's going to know if we're moving or not. So at the moment, we're not seeing anything. Why is that? Oh, we're getting errors. Look, this number's going up. This debug, we're getting errors popping up. What's going on here? Emit signal. Error calling from signal timeout to callable. Method not found. Okay, I've made a mistake. What have I done wrong? Error expected in after not. Ready? Okay. Maybe that will do the job. I don't know what I'm doing here. Right. Oh, we got a crash. Operand vector. Okay, so this is not how it works. Right, okay. How do I check? Right. Check if velocity is moving. Checking the documentation. Vector 2. Right. Vector map. So what we're seeing here is this is a 2D, right? So we're not doing a 3D game, we're doing a 2D game. So we've got X on the horizontal axis and Y on the vertical axis. And so that's, if we're not moving at all, it's 0, 0. If we're moving that way or this way, it's a positive number. But if we're moving that way, then one of them is negative, right? It's similar to how Minecraft coordinates work. If you're moving up that way, it's negative Y. If you're moving this way, it's negative X, right? But how do we measure that? So we're setting a position for a coordinate. We're actually setting the position. But what we're doing is we've already got a position, right? We want to compare it to this. So oh, wait, that's right. I just remembered I can do something. I believe I can do velocity.x, right? So if velocity.x equals 0 and velocity.y equals 0, then that means we're not moving. Right? Wait. No, we are moving. Okay, 1 second. Not 0 and velocity or so this is gonna work. Expected in, not up, whatever. Okay. I don't know how this logic works. Okay. Okay, let's try something else. Let's... I think the return keyword word exists. Velocity.x. Let's just print those and see what happens. This is not liking me though. Do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. What's velocity? Okay, nothing. Okay, so the velocity, these are numbers. Okay, so the velocity.x, y, etc. This is working, right? So we are getting values in there. So by default, we're stopped. But then, if we're actually moving, we want to do a different speed. So, if velocity.x is... It's either greater than 0 or less than 0, right? So we just basically want to say not 0. Let's just do that for now. Does that work? Expected in... I don't know. Okay. Godot, check if velocity.x is not 0. Can I do that? How to detect when a player is stopped? Okay, so someone else has done that. That's technically working. Okay. If velocity, so if x is 0, which means they're not moving in the left-right direction, right? And y is 0, which means they're not moving that direction. So not moving that way or that way, that means they're not moving at all. Then that means they're stopped. So how about we move this around? So moving is going to be up here. might just be the simplest way to do it. Because otherwise I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning how this works. So we're going to default to moving. But we're going to say, well, if none of these are right, then we're actually stopped. Right. Yeah, because vacuuming, you could be vacuuming when you're not moving. That's fine. So vacuuming doesn't matter if you care if you're moving or not. It's just if you've got the vacuum turned on. And charging is if you're in the charging dock, which you haven't even implemented yet. But moving... Okay, so let's try that. So draining moving. When you're moving, you drain... Your battery's only going to last 10 seconds. But if you're not moving, it's only going to last 100 seconds. So we should see that, right? In action. Although I'm just realizing there's a bit of a cheat here. All you have to do is move in little spurts and you're not going to affect it. So right, so by default it's dropping by 1. You can see down the bottom left there. But if I'm moving, it should drop by faster. There you go, so it's dropping by a lot faster when I'm moving. There you go. And it stopped. So it drains more battery when I'm moving. Which was the intention. But I can move and see here, because it's caught me. But see, if I don't do it on the 1 second, it it thinks I'm stopped when I was actually moving. But that's kind of like the fact that I'm doing it every second. So what I could do is I can make this every 2.5 seconds or something, right? So it processes a lot faster. Let's do every half a second instead. And then... Howling! Yeah, howling. So when we're stopped, we'll drain battery that fast. But when we're moving, we'll drain it that fast, right? I mean, that's way too fast. It's like if you're moving, it only lasts 10 seconds and then runs out of battery. That's a really horrible battery. But it's just for testing purposes. We can adjust things later. So, yeah, so because we're stopped, it's draining slowly. Now, because we're driving, it drains a lot faster, and then, oops, I ran out of battery. Okay, cool. That definitely works. Let's make this a bit lower. We can do some more testing. Let's turn from money back, go and see. Yeah, it's a pretty fast draining battery, isn't it, for this thing? Now, the next step then is to pick up some dirt, right? So maybe we implement some dirt and we add some dirt to the thing. Now, one way we could do it, if I quit the project list. The way this game works this has got a main screen. This has got a timer, mob timer, that runs every half a second. And when the mob timer runs, every half a second, it creates a new mob in a random location, right? And sends it on its way towards the player. So every half second, you'll notice there's a new mob here. Whoa, hello. It's literally every half second there's a new one being spawned in a random spot. Now, that's not how we want our dirt to appear. But we could use a similar concept where we have a timer that just drops dirt, right? At least for now. I mean, it doesn't make sense that dirt is constantly dropping while you were playing the game. I think later what I want to do is make it that a level generates. Kind of like a Minecraft world generates randomly based on a seed. So a level generates with a certain amount of dirt, or maybe there's preset levels or something, right? And you'll be able to see where you've cleaned and where you haven't cleaned. But for now, what we need to work on is creating the dirt. How do I do that? So we've got this again. Let's do that just so I can see where the border is. Yeah, I don't know why I can't get my little thing above that on the view. What I might do actually, I might try to put the battery level up there for now. So that is something I'm more confident I could do. If we add a... Add a node, label, battery level, right? And we can do battery 0. I'm going to change the, is it theme? Yeah, theme, I think. Load a font file. And what I might do is go into that folder. Let me just quickly put this here. I'll put a pause screen up. And what I'm going to do, you should be able to still hear me? Yeah, you can still hear me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Oh, and also this is the awesome animation created by the Puka, who rated us, by the way. Just a quick... Go check out the Puka again. Definitely follow him. Does that shout work? Yes, it does. Cool. So, what I want to do is I want to go into my folder. Where are we?
Trees are great.
Trees are great? Oh, I'm not sure I agree with that one. Got a fire here right next to a tree. Hopefully we can burn them down. So, I want to grab a font. That's right. So, if I go into the 3D game, I believe there's a font in there that we can use. Yeah. If I go into this, I'll go into the VSim. Why did that copy not work? I'm trying to do a copy and paste and it's not working. Copy. VSim. New folder. Fonts. Paste. Okay, so that is now in the folder. And if I now switch back to the view, you'll see that in fonts we've got VSat here. So if we go now load, that is the font we're going to use. And the font size will be like 50 or something. There you go, that'll do. Let's make it in a little bit. So the battery level is 0 at the moment. But we want to add on the main thing, and we're going to create a script. I don't know how I want to do on here. If I go into... what I want to be able to do is access that battery level. So I can update this value. Like if I play now, it's not going to change, right? We want to be able to update that value as we're playing. So, if I go into the player script, I don't think I can access the battery level directly from here. So on battery empty, that's not what I want. I probably want an on battery change actually. Let's do an on battery change event. So, battery change event. How do I pass in values for that? I want to pass in the value, like what the new battery level is. Custom signals. So I can define a signal like that. But how do I do parameters? Take damage, emit. Here we are. So you actually pass it in there, old value, new value. Okay. So, in that case, I'm going to do... let's just follow that, right? Old value, new value. And then I've got a node, player, battery change, on player battery change. We're going to put that in the player, I guess. Where are we? Actually, here we are. So I can pass that to the battery level. Or not. Okay, so what I've just figured out now, what I've done is when the battery level's changed, we're passing that up to the main script, right? Because we're actually in the main script now. And so now, the main script has access to battery level. I think. Yep, battery level. Dot text. New value. Okay. So I think that's all we need. So when the battery is changed, we set this level to this text. Cool. And now we need to actually trigger this. I'll also move this logic down here. Where are we? This battery level logic can go in this script instead. Right. We're going to do the old value to the new value. And that's what we're going to output. And then, if we go back to the... What's it telling me now? Battery level not... Yeah, okay, so I've just fixed that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say... Battery... What's it called? It's the battery change. How do I do the emit thing before? It's just battery empty dot emit. Okay. So it was battery level, and now it is the new value is battery level minus the battery drain amount. And I guess here... Yeah, we could move a lot of this stuff around and clean this up later. We're not really using this debug stuff anymore, are we? I'm going to chuck that there just for future reference. So I think this will update the label. Maybe. Let's see if we crash something. Oh, yep, we crashed. Okay. Non-existent function text in label. Okay. So if we click on the label, what's the properties? Text, right? So if we check how we can set the text in the label, so label, Get line count. Properties. Text. It's a string. I think I know what a mistake I'd made was. I tried calling it like a function. I think what I need to do is just say text equals like that. And this is where this percentage thing comes in that I saw. That work? Yeah, there's no red line. I'm going to hope that means it works. I don't know what I'm doing. Right, okay. Nope, it crashed again. Okay. Incomplete format. Okay, so how do I do that then? How do I set that as a value? Apparently there's a set text function. That could work. Maybe there's a set text function. Okay, let's try that. Nope. Set text blip. Does that work? Yeah, it does. Okay. Okay, that works. So it's just the way I'm defining it is somehow wrong. Okay. How do you concatenate strings? How do you join two strings together? String. With a dot. No? Big rams. I don't know what that's. Oh, that's calling a function. Oh, okay. This is JavaScript style stuff. How do you just like join two strings together? Is there an I in team? There's no I in team. Count. I just want to join two strings together. User 40. Oh, here we are. User 42 is Godot. This does not feel like a... This feels overly complicated. Let's do it anyway. So what we're going to do, battery new value is what we're trying to do, right? So we're going to say battery amount, where amount is new value. I think that'll work. There's no red line. Hopefully that means there's no error. Okay, that's not good. So, oh, what? Okay, okay. See what's going on here? The battery is always going to 0. Something's off there. Something's not quite right. Why is the battery always 0? So, somehow, the thing that's passing the battery level in the new value is coming in as 0. I'm floundering here. So, why is the new value coming in 0? I might try some Minecraft at a moment as well. Switch tack a little bit. Open the script. Battery drain. Oh! Battery drain minus battery drain. That's why it's 0. That's why it's 0. How you going, Tech Wolf? Var new value is the battery level minus the battery drain. Making a game. Making a game. Or trying to. Right, hopefully this updates the battery now. There we are. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Oh, but I can't drive. Why can I not drive? Oh, because my controller's dead. Okay, there you go. I can drive it using the keyboard. Okay, so the battery is now updating. We might want to filter that to an integer, though. So if we want to drop off to, like, the decimal points. Because if we... Let's do something funky. If we do this, like... we drain it by 0.444 or something. We're going to get some weird numbers, right? Or 333. Or whatever, 3233. We're going to get like a 3-digit number here. There you go. You're getting weird numbers like that, right? So we want to get rid of that and just have a simple number. So now, the question is, I'll show you what we're working on in a second in TechWolf. Number rounding, maybe. How do I round a number? We'll round it off to the nearest whole number. Did that not work? Random number generation? Nope. Maybe if I just go to, we want to do it in the level here, right? We want to go in here. We want to pass through the actual value, but it's only when we're displaying it here that we want to round it off. So can I do rounding here? So, integer, to integer. Oh, here we are. To string, to number. Nope. So there's a to string, but there's no to integer or to number. Why is that? Okay. So, round number. If this doesn't work, I'm going to go to Google instead. I don't want to do number generation. DD script round number. Rounding floats in GD script. GD4 equivalent. Variant snapped. That's not quite what I want. Stepify. Snaps a float value S to a given step. Okay, that might be what I want. If I go stepify and I say I want this value to be like 1, right? So like no decimal points. I wonder if that will do the job. There's an error. Function stepify not found. Oh, okay, I don't have stepify in this node thing. How does I round? How does I do this? I thought this would be a simple thing. What I could do is floor maybe. So, okay, floor. So, if floor works how I expect, it rounds it downwards. Yep, okay, cool. So if you've got any number, like 2.99, it goes down to 2. Oh, here we are. See, also round. Okay, this is what I want, maybe. Round. That's what I want. Here, round. Okay, it's just called round. Okay, let's try that. So if I go round... Is that going to work? Maybe it will. There we are. See how we got... So, here's the actual value down here. It's like this weird... Whoops. It's this weird multiple decimal point thing. But we're just rounding it off to the nearest, like, number, right? But because we're driving, we're using lots of battery. But then when we stop driving, it goes slowly again. And then we're driving, we're using lots and lots of battery, and we're going to run out, and we're dead. Oh! And so now we're -1. That's an interesting thing we've got to deal with. We've got that issue again. But we've got a battery level now showing on the screen. So TechWolf, I'll show you what the deal is. Are you familiar with Godot and game dev using tools like this? Well, it's not Unity, it's not Game Maker, it's like another one called Godot. Or Godot, or whatever you want to pronounce it as. So I'm trying to make a little game using that. But if I show you what we've got so far, following some tutorials earlier when I wasn't streaming. So here's a 2D game you can play. And the idea is just to survive as long as possible. Every second you get 1 point. If I play this, I'll turn the sound on. We're a little squid guy. And you basically got to dodge these things and build up your score. And this is an example of a 2D game. Just on a 2D plane with an X and Y coordinate axis. And if we hit them, we die. Right? Then, you've also got the 3D version of that. Where you can actually move in 3 dimensions. So left, right, up, down, but then also jumping. You've heard of it, even tried it one day. Cool. It is a much steeper learning curve than Game Maker, I've discovered. Game Maker does have drag and drop stuff as well, which makes it a lot easier. Okay, so this thing here, we can jump on top of their heads and get points. Oh, and I'm dead. Okay. I keep missing them. I just got 2 in a row then. Ah, there you go. So you can try to get the highest score you can. So what I'm working on now is trying that. Both of those are tutorials. So now what I'm trying to do is make my own game without a tutorial, right? Just to learn more about it. And so that's what we're making here. It's a vacuum cleaner simulator. So it's a mix between Goat Simulator and Pressure Washer Simulator, where you like pressure wash things. As the idea is, you got a vacuum cleaner, you drive around and you vacuum things in your house. You're gonna have obstacles, you're gonna have furniture to get around, you're gonna have cats attacking you, you're gonna have cables that you'll get tangled up in, and you have a battery level that you got to deal with where you got to charge again. Roomba Simulator, pretty much. Yeah, that's the idea. So basically, it's a Roomba simulator. And you've got to clean the carpet or whatever while contending with all kinds of obstacles and stuff. Because that just has a whole bunch of interesting mechanics then that we can deal with. And it's just the means for me. I don't know if I'll ever release it or let anyone play it, but the idea is it's an excuse to come up with lots of different concepts you can add, right? And we can add lots of things. Like we could even have Puka Poppy's head in one day and like try to swat at the Roomba or something. Like you can have all kinds of little cameos and things happening. Yeah, the evil cats that can attack you, exactly. Like, you can do all kinds of little things like that, right? So, I haven't figured out why this is above... I want the player above this, but for some reason the background is above the player. So, if I turn the background off, you'll be able to see the player better. And that actually looks neater, right? Oh, but now our battery level's disappeared. Okay. So there you go. There's another thing. So if I turn that off, but I'll leave the battery level on, you now get the battery level. There you go. So again, while I'm driving, it uses the battery up really, really fast, but while I'm not driving, It uses a lot slower. So that is working so far. I mean, it's draining really, really fast. We're going to have to change that later. But for demo purposes, it's working well. It's just that it keeps ending with negative something, which is not ideal. So, how can we fix that issue? Basically, it's a Roomba simulator. Yes. Just the fact that I probably shouldn't use the word Roomba in case I want to release it. I'll just call it a vacuum simulator, but effectively it's a Roomba simulator, yes. It's exactly what I had in mind. So, battery level, battery change. So probably what we want to do here then is enforce that the battery drain is not more than remaining battery, right? So if battery drain is greater than battery level, then we'll make it equal. That should work. So for example, if we have 5% battery and we're trying to drain 10%, we'll make it that we're only draining 5%, right? So we can only go to 0 then. And hopefully that fixes our negative thing. And we'll get exactly 0 battery percent. So we've got 99. And again, we've got like really specific values down here, but that's fine. We're rounding it off here. We don't have any borders on it, and obstacles yet, but we'll deal with that later. Draining it, not moving, it drains slower. And we died on exactly 0. There you go. So there you go. It got down to 0.005, but then got to 0, and now the battery's dead. Game over, right? And the idea is that you should never want to run out of battery. If you're getting low, you want to get to the charger. So you do like warning noises and sounds and alerts and sirens going off, or I don't know. Basically, get to the charger ASAP. Yeah, you could do all kinds of things with this. So what's the next logical thing that we can do? Yeah, I think the next logical thing would be vacuuming up stuff, right? And you'd have like a tank capacity. So if you would have to have dust around here somewhere, and as you vacuum up dust, your tank would fill up, or your thing, and then you got to empty that or something later. So, how do we do that? I think for now we'll assume we've got an infinite tank. We just got to deal with how to make the actual dust appear. So I think we need a node for dust, right? So we've got a node for the player, we've got a node for the screen. We need to make a new scene, sorry. And this is where I'm getting lost because I don't know what I'm doing here. We need to have something visual, don't we? Yeah. I think if I go other node, so before I do that, what is the player? The player is a area 2D node. A region of 2D space that detects other collision objects. Yes, so I think we need another area 2D thing. Vacuum the cat. Yeah. The cat will be an interesting one because I've got to figure out the movement and everything. At least with dust, it doesn't move, you'd think, right? So that will be a simpler one to do. But if I'm going to do things like cats and mobs and, I don't know, a baby running in and trying to sit on the room or something, then that's a lot more complex to do. You can do so many funny things. Let's do a area 2D, and then it contains a sprite and a collision. So if we do new scene, area 2D, which is called dust, right? Or we want instance. Here's the thing. So you can have inheritance. You can have a parent object and then lots of child objects. So you can have lots of different things that you suck up. Some of it would be dust. Other parts might be, I don't know, like a chocolate wrapper or something. So actually, what we want to do is we want to be more generic here. We want to say trash or something, right? It might be dust, it might be something else. So let's try trash. something that you can collect, right? And yes, I'm using the amazing Shulkerbox Tooltip and Mini HUD for this app. So this is giving me a warning saying that I need like a collision shape, right? I'm going to do the sprite thing first. Not that I have any sprites. And I'm also going to do a collision shape, I think. And the collision shape says it needs a specific shape, right? So for the sprite, what I'm probably going to do, I'm just going to use the same icon for now, right? But I'm going to make it a lot smaller. So I'm going to make it scale. I'm going to vacuum up tiny Roombas. That's how the dust works, right? Vacuuming up tiny Roombas. You have to leave? No worries. Thanks for dropping by, Techwood. Appreciate it. So these are little tiny Roombas that we're going to vacuum up for now. We'll deal with it later. But now what we want to do is we want to put a collision shape. So we can do... Makes sense to be a circle for that. So we'll make the collision this big. So if it collides with this circle, it's touched the dust, right? And then we also want to go up to the trash. Actually, this is a thing. The collision shape is going to be different for each piece of trash. Let's just call it dust for now. Yeah, I'll figure out how to deal with different pieces of trash later. How I can share. I don't want to copy and paste lots of stuff. I want to share code. But I'm not familiar enough with this to know how I should be doing that yet. I can always change it later. So we'll do a piece of dust that's a circle. Can I like mask this and make it a circle or something? Well, texture. Don't know. Material. Don't know. Subtract. There you go. Do. Just make it look different, right? There you go. That'll do. Subtract. It looks different. And it's got a collision shape or a circle. Sprite 3D. It's a dust. So now I'm going to save that as dust. Basically stuff that I can vacuum up. And now I'm not going to insert into the main screen because we don't want dust to always be there. We want to programmatically create it. So we're going to have a timer. Yeah, for now, I'll model it after that other game where dust just randomly appears and you've got to pick it up. But that's not the end goal. The end goal will be that the room starts with dust. And like the pressure wash cleaning game, you've just got to clean it all within a certain time frame, right? Or as fast as you can. But for now, just so we can get the stuff working, the collisions working and stuff, we'll just randomly generate dust on the map somewhere. So for that, I need a timer. And that's the dust generation timer for when dust gets generated. We'll just say like every 1 second for now, right? And auto start. So every 1 second, it's going to try to generate some dust. And then when every 1 second, it's going to trigger an event on the main, which is down here. So on dust generation timer, we're going to get the dust. And this is something else I want to do. If I go to the dust view, and I go to groups, I can make it part of the dust group. Which then means I can clear it. All dust, maybe? I don't know. I'm guessing here as I go. So, let's go back to the main screen. Dust generation timer triggers this. And then what we want to do is I want to see how to do this. So, if I go over here to this browser, if I go to the home screen for this, and I go to like the tutorials, where's the tutorials here? Where was the tutorial? What am I thinking of? It's generating mobs. Yeah, basically any of these would have done it. So if I go to here, that's not what I'm looking for. Where's the... community? This is version 3 as well. It's the old stuff. Getting started. Here we are. First 2D game. Contents. And creating the enemy. Oh, that's something I haven't done as well. So I want to go into the dust item. And I want to go into this inspector. And for the collision, this is going to be dirt. And it's going to not collide with anything. The player is going to handle collisions. So the dirt is just like, I'm here, right? Because if we did this, if we made the dirt there, that means if dirt hit another piece of dirt, it will bounce off of it. Which we don't want. We're just going to have the player itself. If we go to the player will interact with the dirt and the enemies and furniture itself, right? And we're going to handle all that logic in the player. So, let's go back to that website. Animation speed, we're not doing animations right now. Not doing that. Not doing that. Not doing that. That's to clear them when they go off the screen. That's not a concern right now either. Where are they creating the mob? Create a mob scene, then which will instance. Yeah, we want to create an instance of the mob. And I just don't remember how to do that. Posture check. Thank you very much. Welcome in. CK, how are you going today? Oh. A posture check is really well needed. Thank you for that. And I'm getting a drink of water. By the way, just a reminder, if anyone wants a Minecraft server, please check out this. Even just clicking the link does help me out. Take a look. Even if you don't want to necessarily buy a server, check out what they offer. Because clicking on the link does count as a click for me and helps me out. Dedicated MC is awesome. I've been using them for a long time and I still use them. They currently pay for Scoutcraft server for me. But I am still paying for the Patreon one myself with Patreon. I can't see where the code is created. It should be here. Okay, let's go over here. Let's save this. Let's go and actually look at the other project. Save. They do Ark survival of all servers? Yes, they do. Yep. If you do want to get one, definitely get the 15%. Use the code to do it. It will be for the first month only, found out. So it's not constant, it's just for the first month you get the discount. But it's still better than not getting a discount. So if I check... Oh, also, I didn't miss that message. I have no clue what you're doing, but it's lunchtime, so you're out of your lurk. Welcome back, Becca. When did you send that? Oh, it was only 1 or 2 minutes ago. Okay, I didn't miss it for too long then. Better than being poked in the eye with a plastic duck? What? What is the context for that? Right, so if I go to the main screen and I want to go to, I think it's this one, script. On a new game, we are clearing all the existing mobs. We are displaying a get ready message. We're doing a mob timer. So if I go to the mob timer, on mob timer timeout, in the main script, here we are, this is what we're doing. So, let's just grab that for now. And don't know if this is going to show anything that I don't want to see, so let's just pop up that briefly. Okay, no, it's fine. Paste that in there. We'll go project quit. Go back to the one we're working on. And then we need our timer. So if we go back to the main scene, we've got dust generation timer. And it's going to trigger on here. This is the code we're going to do. So if we paste that in there, and we'll repurpose this. This is not going to work because it doesn't know what it is. What's mob scene? That's right. Mob scene was... Okay. We want to do export. Mob scene. Right. Dust scene equals... I don't know how this worked. I've got to check what that was. That is not how you do that. Quit project list again. You could have COVID germ monsters pop up like a boss. Yeah, you gotta vacuum to clean the germs out of the carpet or something. Oh, that's another thing. You have different carpet type, different floor types, and maybe carpet is more like it's harder to move or something than like linoleum or tiles or whatever you call it. All kinds of things you could do. Here we are. That's packed scene. I forgot what it was. How, so you do it like that. Okay. So now if I go here, I don't know of a quicker way of doing this. I think you just got to exit and go back into it. So do you know what we're doing here, Becca? Did you hear earlier what we were doing, what we're working on? Oh, also I missed the colon. The packed scene, because we did an export, if I now go into the main thing, it pops up over here. And I can point that out. Oh, maybe I can't. Can I do a quick comment? No, I can't. How do I do a multi-line comment in this? Comments. Yo, what's up, Leiger? How you going, Glebcraft? Making a Roomba game. Yes, pretty much. G-script. Have you used Godot before, Godot Glebcraft? I know you do a bit of game dev stuff. I am very new to this. Any assistance would be greatly appreciated. So this is a single line. Can you do multi-line comments? They not have multi-line comments. Comment style guide. Okay. So got a double asterisk seems to be the job there, but you gotta, yeah, okay. I don't seem to be able to just comment out that block. Your script knowledge has been pushed out by work. You're learning Godot 2 with your friend. Oh, awesome. You're probably ahead of me because I am very much a noob on this. I program every single day, but that's in PHP. And this is very different. It is object-oriented, which I can appreciate. But beyond that, I'm a little bit lost. Let's just comment out this stuff so it doesn't keep throwing an error, because I think it's preventing me from saving the file. Right, now I can save. And now can I go up here? Why can't I choose a scene? Mob scene. Wait. What's the mob scene? What? I think I messed something up there. Right, let's go over here. Filter properties. I should be able to put properties on this thing, right? Go to the player. I've got speed and battery capacity. I've got a main. I've got nothing. Why is that? Why is that? Dust generation timer. Can't even do a basic property here. What am I missing? History, the beginning. Welcome in, Jackal Gamer. Thanks for following. Appreciate it. Line 12 at a pass. Oh, okay, thank you. Ah, you're a legend. Thank you. Why didn't that tell me that there was an issue with the function? Not, yeah, it didn't have any lines. You're a legend. That's done it. Thank you very much. I was lost. New packed scene. No, I want to load, and I want to load the dust. Which I just noticed is not set up properly. It was red text. Oh, was there red text? I didn't see the red text. Oh, down there. Gotcha. I didn't see that down there. Right. Now, I noticed you can do return as well. Is there technically any difference to those two? Or is it basically the equivalent of pass? Because I keep forgetting what the word pass, like I keep forgetting what the word is, what the keyword is. But return I'm used to using because of PHP. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I didn't think to check that. I probably should have. Let's clear that. And I'll see any new errors pop up. So that's a dust scene. So now, create a new instance of the dust scene. The var dust. equals dust scene instantiate. Pass is a pass through. You can add code and it will still work. A return is a return stop. Oh, right. So this will still work with pass there. Good to know. Why would you have pass in that case? What's the... Beyond that, what's the purpose of it? Or, sorry, does that mean you can pass back like a value or something? Like pass back 5, but then also continue running? Is that like a temporary... No, expected end of statement. I guess not then. What's the... Other than filling in an empty function, what's the purpose of pass? I guess that's what the doc's for, right? So if I go pass... Yeah, that's right. I think I looked at this before and didn't see it in here. I'm not... let's just let the editor know the function block is closed. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So dust, choose a random location. So this is not how we're going to choose... We don't want to generate it like this. We're not using a path to generate the location. But we do need to set a... We'll deal with that later. Set the mob's direction. We'll deal with that later because we're not doing a moving mob. Position will be a random position. Okay. We do want to set the dust dot position. What do I do wrong there? If I go to my player script, vector 2. Vector 2. Let's just do it for that for now, right? That's 0, 0. And then direction doesn't matter. Direction doesn't matter. Choose the velocity. Not going to have velocity, and we're basically going to add it. That's basically the gist of it. Oh, hello. That made me jump. Pudgy was planting trees. -1. Okay, we're going to have to change these prices now. So let's go into manage rewards. Pull this up here for a second. Getting too close to 0. Let's just let the editor know. Yep. Other than that, it's nothing. Fair enough. So now that this is basically set to 0, I'm going to change planting and cutting down trees to be the same amount. Where are we? Price. 350. Glebcraft says he's trying to make a solo 2D game, maybe even continuing a previous game in Godot, because there was not much functionality. Fair enough. So, currently what we have is a vacuum cleaner that runs out of battery slowly. And my controllers run out of battery. Okay, there we are. So I'm using my keyboard. So when it's not moving, it drains battery slowly. When it is moving, it drains battery much faster. Like that's currently functionality we've got. And when it gets to 0, it's dead and it can't move at all. And it's game over. The next thing we're trying to implement is dust that you need to pick up. And so then you're going to have to go and vacuum dust. And obviously the battery is going to last a lot longer than that in the future. But then we're going to have other obstacles. We're going to have like things coming in. We're going to have cables that you got to dodge and not vacuum and things like that. All kinds of things happening if we keep going that far. The whole point is not so much to make a game that is there to play. Although the goal will be to make it enjoyable to play and make it fun. It's not just... The goal is to make it fun, right? But the main goal for doing it is just to learn Godot more. So, welcome in, Flood. How are you going? Thank you for following. Hope you're well today. So, I just noticed that this... I just pressed the wrong button. I pressed F6 instead. Okay, so I just noticed it's created the little dust up there. So the dust is up there. If I go over here, I don't think I've done the event for interacting with it yet. But yeah, the dust is up there at 0, 0. So we are creating an instance where doing this and doing this. How about... Can I do... That should work, right? Yeah, there you go. So the dust has moved over here now. Okay. That's good. So then we do have the size of the window. Let's move that out of there. I'll move it into the main script instead, because we're not actually using it here. And then in the ready function, put pass in there. The ready function will set the screen size, and then what is the screen size? What format does that come out as? Ah, cool. Okay, thank you. That's basically what I was going to try to work out. So the range, yeah, I think that's what the screen size is going to be, the range, right? So let me just press this. So that's the window size. If I change the size, it doesn't adjust, it's just staying the same number. Okay, that's fine. Because we're only instantiating, we're only initializing it when we're ready. That's fine. So this is going to be a screen size.x and a screen size.y. So I'm going to use your code, which is vector2. And the first, yeah, okay, so the x and y is rand f range 0 to screen size x. That should work, right? There you go. Oh, there you go. The dust's popping up everywhere. Cool. Okay. There you go. We're getting dust everywhere. Right. Okay. Okay. We need to make that battery last longer now. There's a reason for the battery to keep going. So let's make the battery last a little bit longer while we're here. So we're going to leave it at 100% battery, but we'll say it drains at like 0.05 when you're not doing anything. And when you're moving, it drains at 1.0 or something, right? That's still only 100 seconds. No, less than that, because every half second. I think I want to leave it as 100 for now, because I'll do that. I'll do a percentage later. Then I can do like 1,000 and yeah. I'll leave it as 100 for now. Let's just lower this to like 20. It stopped. 0.2, 0.5, and we'll say 1.5. How does that go? We can always tweak these numbers later. So when we're not moving, it drains really slowly. We are moving. Yeah, okay, that's a good amount for testing, right? We're draining the battery. Cool. Then what we want to do is collision. So I believe, if I remember from the tutorial, if I get the dust thing, I can't just go in here and do a collision, because the dust doesn't exist on the main scene. How do you do collision? So if I with the enemy, let me just see how this other project did it. So if I quit project list. Also, is there a quicker way to do this? Instead of quitting to project list every time, can I have 2 projects open at once or not? Is there a way to do that? So if we go to the player, how is that handling collision with the mob? That's right. I think there was if I go to the inspector for the player, we had collision here. No, I'm getting mixed up with the wrong game. Let's quit to project list. You can do a generic check with body. They compare body to the node you're colliding with. That way you don't need to be in the same tree. Okay. I'll have a quick look at this, how this one did it, and then I'll jump to the other thing and try what you said. Appreciate your help. Because I've used a little bit of Game Maker, including a scripting aspect of that, but that was years ago, so I've forgotten even how to do that. But day to day, I'm mainly writing PHP and not GD script. PHP, I'd be flying, but this doesn't support PHP. So the way this one works, I think you had the player, and we had down here in the collision section, it was of type player on the layer, and it collided with enemies in the world. And then I think we had it in the script. Is it physics process? What are you saying? Do a generic check with body. I've forgotten how this one's doing this. It would be on the player, wouldn't it? If I pull up the website again, you will say this. Layer is where the node exists. Collision is... Yeah, okay. Oh, right. Yeah, because you've got the collision thing. Right, okay. So, I've got things opening in different screens. 1 second. Godot documentation. Load that over there. If I go to the player scene, and I've got the collision here, that doesn't have a script though. Imagine if there's a game maker scripting like plugin. Most of it get the collision layer and mask confused. Yep. So the way they did it in this tutorial, which I've forgotten now, was they set up the collision thing, but they were mostly using this to basically detect when it was colliding what it could collide with. And then somewhere it was detecting collision, and the reason it wasn't detecting collision between two mobs is because I deselected that. Oh, here's the collision here. Get collided. This is what I'm looking for. Physics process. Now, is that a 3D only thing, or is this a 2D thing? This is what I'm looking for here. So for we got the list of collisions, and then for each collision we did stuff. This is what I think I'm trying to do. On mob detector body entered. That's what you were talking about, right? Connecting with the body. So if I just grab this for now, it's not going to be what I want exactly, but we'll come back to that. We'll quit to project list. We'll go back to vacuum sim. vsim. Physics process sync to physics where process is not. Okay. So it is a 2D thing as well, because I know there were some functions specifically for 3D. You are coming across as very knowledgeable. You know exactly what you're talking about, which is good. So that was on the player, wasn't it? Yeah, because it's the player that's colliding. So we've already got the, I've already set up the collision shape, right? This is the collision shape. We're using just this thing for now. We've got the collision shape of where it can collide. We've got the, on the mob as well, or the dust, we have a circular collision shape. And I've got, the dust is of type dirt, which I might rename later, but it's of type dirt. And if I go to the player, that's Sprite 2D, player, main. If I go to the player masks with the dirt, so it can collide with the dirt, right? But it can't collide with another player, which doesn't exist anyway. So I think I've got that set up correctly. And then all I need to do now is this function. Right, so we've got the process function there, which runs every tick. And then we've got the physics thing, which you were saying is dealing with that. So, store input direction. We don't really care about that at the moment. All we're trying to do is handle collisions right now. So we don't care about that. We don't care about that. So what are you doing? We're already handling moving up here. We don't care about the direction of the player. Since it's just a 2D game, do a signal to collide with another area 2D. Then connect to the script. Right. But can I do that when the mob isn't in the thing? Oh, so you're saying not to do all this? This is why I'm doing this, so I can learn all this stuff. Because otherwise I won't learn anything. You can do that, but in your opinion it's overkill. Okay. Well, I can always change things later, right, and make them better. So my goal at the moment is just to do bare minimum, whatever I need to do to get the job done. But in a way that I can always refactor it and change it later. So whatever the simplest way is, I'll do. Because I can always improve it later if I find the need to. I need to optimize stuff. So, you said about doing the event. So I think if I click here, you were saying about doing a body entered. Is that it? Is it this one? Body entered? Area 2D entered. Area entered. Okay, yep. Since the dust is an area... Yeah, okay, gotcha. And we're gonna put that on player area entered. Right, and because we don't have the mob here, we're going to then, in that function, determine what we're connecting to. Oh yeah, there's the area. So what's the area? What's that containing? Okay, so it's an area 2D object, basically, if I'm understanding that correctly. So can I do if area dot is something like is dust or something, or is in group? What did I call the group? I think it was like all dust or something. Print dust. Since the area returns the colliding area 2D. Okay, yep. If I go dust and I go groups, all dust. Yep. How about I name it basically like collectible items already, right? Vacuumable items. Whatever, all dust will do for now, right? That'll do. So if it's that, then that should mark as true. I mean, that's the only thing I can currently collide with, but just in case I add other things, I'm checking that it's what I expect it to do. So if I print that, I'm expecting that to work. Yep, dust. Okay, cool. So then, what do I want to do in this scenario? I want to basically delete the dust. I want to fill up the tank or whatever you want to call it. Whatever you call where it stores everything. And that'll do what I'll do for now. So the tank will just do it as a score of what the capacity is, just for now. So, tank contents equals 0. I'll do tank contents plus equals 1. And we want to do area dot. How did you delete things? There was a function name for removing things. Give me an autocomplete. Q3, thank you. That was it. So we'll remove it, and that should do that. I can always do like sound effects and everything later. That should theoretically allow it to pick up the dust then. Oh, but I'm not actually storing my count anywhere. Let's just print that for now. Tank size 1. Tank size. I must have picked up a few there. Oh, cool. Awesome. All right. So we're doing stuff now. Okay. So then we're going around vacuuming stuff. This is becoming a game now. This is good. You can't die yet, but it's becoming something that we can actually play. Right. Obviously, that's not how I want it to work in the end, but it gets the basic gist down. Now, maybe I'll just do... I might just repeat the way I've got the where is it? Go to the main scene. The way I've got the scoreboard, the battery, I might just chuck the tank size up there as well for now. You can type the arg with area 2D and it should help with autocomplete. Like that. Although I think they had the if not, you can do var t equals area as area 2D. Ah, okay. Cool. So that's kind of like, that makes me think of MySQL format. Like if you're writing MySQL, var dust equals area as. Oh, no. In MySQL, it would be like as the label for the column. The other way around. Never mind. But that's how I can remember the format. But yeah, okay, I'll do that for now. So what you're saying now is if I do this, because that wasn't auto-completing, but if I do area, yeah, now it's going to do that. It's going to auto-complete for me. Cool. Okay, so tank contents plus equals 1. So now, let's just get rid of all these. And this is something I love doing, is multi-line editing. So fun. So now I need to emit an event, battery change emit. I'm going to do signal, tank change, old value, new value. And then I'm going to do a tank change dot emit, new value. I'm going to do old value equals tank contents. +1. And then where did I put that before? Buttspot is striking again. Use T as the argument. If not, you can do... Oh, yeah, that's what you said before. Battery change. So yeah, that should be on this player, right? So, I've got errors. I need to read my errors. Stop and read the errors. Right. Pass error. Doesn't have a line number. Let's clear that and then try to save again. Player GD 101. Okay. Pass error. Identify an old value not declared in current scope. I'm just declaring it. What do you mean? I can do that. I don't know why it was saying that the variable wasn't declared. Let's clear that and save again. Okay. Now if I go here. Where's my... Oh, because I'm filtering the list, that's why I can't see it. Tank change. And the way I did that... How did I do that one? I did that one directly on the main. So I'll do the same thing. On the main, I'll do on player tank change. And I'm going to move this one up. There. And I'm going to say var tank level is the rounded value of the new value. I mean, it's never going to be a weird number anyway. Becca's lurking. Thanks for lurking, Becca. Appreciate you. Then I'm going to do another event. Can I just another label? Sorry, can I duplicate that? That'll be simpler. I'm going to call this tank level. I mean, this is just temporary. I don't see myself storing the tank level for very long, but it's just a way to track the score without having to look at this, without having to look at the console down there. Up here. I'll do this. I'll do inspector tank 0. On the main script, we're now doing tank level dot text, and now because we've done this before, I can just copy what I did before, because I struggled to get even this how to assign it a string with a value before. Is there a simpler way to concatenate? Simple way to align vertically is to add the labels to a VBox container. It will auto align them. VBox container? I think they are aligned anyway, but I'll do what you said. Move. There we are. And then this is automatically, yeah. And then I can probably do like, I can change the alignment or something, can I? There we are. Alignment begin, center, end, etc. If I do center and I do the width, I'm surprised that is not showing at center. Sorry, because it's a text box. I want it to be at the beginning anyway. I was just experimenting with what it was going to let me do. I might leave that as 500 though, so the rectangle's easier to grab. Oh, okay. That looks like a simpler way to do that. 1 second. Let me try to do that. I was struggling before to do a simple thing. I was trying to do plus concatenation. I was trying to do dot concatenation. I was trying to do like that percentage and then a percentage in a variable because I'd seen that somewhere and that wasn't working either. I was trying a few different things. So str. Oh, so that's how you can concatenate. Oh, right. You just call it as a function. Gotcha. Okay, so if I try that here. I'm trying to my VS Code shortcuts and it's not always working. The string. I'm expecting that to work. You can center the text with the label itself. Okay. No worries. I didn't actually want to, but I did want to make sure I knew how. So let's try that. Gotcha. Oh, wait a second. What's that going to look like? Yeah, I want it to be left aligned. So let's do that. But at least I know how. Thank you for that. So what's the purpose of doing the alignment begin here then? I guess you're aligning all the items, but because they're the same width anyway, it doesn't matter. Yep. Oh, okay, that's more a format that I would like to use as well. So if I go to here. If I wanted to do two things, just say I want to put the tank level twice, right? Out of, can I do like, out of 100 there or something? Nope. How do you do multiple? It aligns nodes. Oh, percentage S. Can you do multiple things though? I'm guessing S is for string. Or something, right? It's like when you're doing a, whatever it's called. It's not protected, is the wrong word. A protected query from MySQL, and you pass in the expected type, and then you parameterize the what you're actually passing in. Maybe if you use this, that. Oh yeah, that seemed to work. I mean, I don't want 100 there, but I want to see if it works. Just for the sake of knowing how to do it. So, if I... Is this everything I need to do here? Let's print this as well, just for the sake of it. Tank level. Old value to new value. Cool. That's the same as that now. Tank change, so am I passing that through? When I expect to. Tank change is when area is entered that. And we're deleting the dust and then we're filling up the tank. Yes, I think we're doing everything we need to. We'll see if it works. Oh, nope, something crashed. Invalid set index text on base null instance. It's going to give me, it's telling me it's in here. Okay, that was working before. It's implying that that doesn't exist. Oh, of course it doesn't exist. Because that's the wrong path now. Is it that? That should work, right? Yeah, that worked. Okay, so there you go. So that what you just said does work. Oh, although I'm not going up from 1. Something's not right there. It keeps saying tank level is 0 to 1, so I'm not incrementing somewhere. But that 100 thing definitely worked. That syntax worked. Thank you for that. Probably the one I'm going to use is that. And I'll keep the others there just as a reference in case I need them later. here, I can just do round tank level in there. And I might do... I'm going to change this one, and this is going to be battery. Around new value. Get rid of the temporary value. Cool. Oh, wait, so that's right. We didn't fix the issue with the counting. Yeah, still 0, 1. Okay, so somewhere in here, we're not passing in, we're not saving the current state. Task change emit. Yeah, we're not actually changing, we're not actually increasing the contents locally. So what I did up here was I did this as well. And so what I need to do here is do that, and I want to go plus equals 1. Tank contents. Copy and paste has led to so many errors in the past. Right. Nice. Cool. And then I'll basically see how many I can get before the battery runs out. Is in a way, it's like a mini game in itself already. Now, the next obvious thing that I need to work out is the borders of the map. Now, what I'd like to do, what I would love to do, is have this thing always in the middle of the map and have the world move around it. So I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Roomba app, but it's got a little animation where it's basically sitting in one spot when it's moving. It's got it sitting in one spot and it's got the floor moving underneath it. Yeah. And so I want to basically be able to move this around. And so this thing's always in the front and it's basically turning around like this and the world's moving around it. So then you can have a really big room and you're exploring it and only seeing a little bit at a time. That's the idea. And so you can't see what else is going on in the room. And obviously that's going to change where these things spawn and all that kind of thing. But so add a camera 2D node. Yep. I'm having fun just doing this. For some reason, this is fun just doing this. That's a good sign. I'm having fun doing just turning around in circles, picking up dots. Okay. So I will add a camera 2D node to the player. Sounds good. So right, and then I can change the size of it. One thing I can do is I think I can do a view. No. How do I view multiple grids? Am I thinking, or maybe that was a 3D thing? There was a thing where I could split the view up and show what the camera sees separately to what I see. Grid. But I don't know if I've got that in this mode. See, if I go view... Yeah, there it was. It was in the 3D mode I'm thinking of. So maybe you can't do that in the 2D mode. So if I zoom as a scaling, limit will limit the boundary. I'm noticing that this is not quite centered on there. Ah. centered to the player node its parent. Okay. So let me just try playing this and see what happens. Right. I want to make that back to 1. Oh, sorry, that's why you're saying... Now I understand what you're saying. It's doing that because it's where the player... Yeah, okay. Understood. Understood. So what the problem is the player isn't actually centered. That's why. But yeah. Oh, yes! That's awesome! That's cool. I like that. That's awesome. Now... now I want to do like a mini-map or something. I'm guessing I'd just do another camera view that's more zoomed out and tied to the room, right? So I want to do like a mini-map. So if I exit that, I'm guessing I'd do a, probably tied to the canvas layer. And I'd add a camera 2D there. Although that's not centered now. It's centered to the corner of the canvas layer. You can do a sub-view container. Okay. Never heard of that before. And add a sub-view to that. So I'm guessing that would still be within the canvas, because that's where my UI seems to be at the moment. Sub-viewport. Okay. Texture rectangle, viewport texture, then point to the subview. Not sure I follow because this is completely new to me, but we'll see if I can work out what you're talking about. So texture, rectangle, right, which we can then, it's a rectangle that we can apply a texture to. I'm assuming I can move that to where I want it to be. So if I want the minimap to be over this corner, I can move it up there. I want to make it... I'll keep the size like that for now. Can I make it bigger? What's the that one? Oh, I lost it. Texture X up there. Hey Ancients, how you going? In the texture rack, new viewport texture. I'm not, it's not child node, is it? On the inspector. Texture, new viewport texture, gotcha. And then point to the subview, which I haven't created yet, have I? I need to create the subview again. I think I've deleted it. Well, I've done something. I might want to... There's the viewport path. Okay. So the subview is the camera 2D. If I'm making another camera 2D, that's the subview. Or is it the canvas layer? Do I just directly link the canvas layer? No, I can't do that. Subview is the new viewport, so I need to make a viewport, right? Sub viewport. Minimap. It will be the view renderer. Well, that at least lets me select it, and that's bigger than I expected. How are you going today, Ancients? I am a little bit sick still from COVID, but mostly fine. Sub viewport, you can set the size. On the sub viewport, set the size. Oh, yeah, okay. Can I add a border around this? I'm guessing if I want to add like just a rectangle or something, right? With the background color for the border. Like a color rectangle. That will be slightly bigger than the viewport. Like if I want to do a border. Camera will need to follow the player as well. So the mini map. So you can use a remote node. I don't know what I'm doing here. Moving things all over the place. I'm guessing this is not the most efficient way to do this. That'll be close enough for now. And then I need to do what you're saying about actually putting something in there. You recommend a sub-view container sub-viewport as a child. Sub-viewport container? Might still put that there for now. Makes it easier. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing some dodgy stuff here. And what else did you say? You said new viewport texture on the expector. Sub view is a new viewport. Will be the view vendor. Then the sub viewport, you can set the size. Now the sub view needs a camera 2D to work. You won't need the texture vector. Okay. Oh wait, text. Oh, wrong. Texture rec you're saying I don't need. Is that right? The one with the minimap view. Did you mean the color rect I don't need? I'm assuming I do need the texture rect, right? Don't know what the up was for. I think what you meant is that I do need the texture rect because that's what's getting that. But I don't need the color rect. I can remove the color rect and the texture rect. Oh, okay. So what we're doing today, Ancients, is trying to make a game. I'm just going to move this over here for now. So at the moment, what we've got is a little Roomba vacuum cleaner that goes around and picks up bits of dust as it finds them before it runs out of battery. And that's basically the game so far. Because I think he just joined, so just letting you know the context of what we're doing. We'll do sound effects and music later. Right, so now I need to continue working on this minimap thing. You can remove the color vector. Right, so I do want to put some sort of border there so I can see what's going on. Is that like a texture background? Okay, I'll do the camera 2D thing first. No worries. Add the camera 2D to the subview and a remote node. Like as in a signal. Add the camera 2D to the subview. They're both nodes. That's right, yeah, everything's a node. Yeah, I need to get used to the terminology. Yep. How long has the Leiger been streaming for? Yes, that's how long have I been streaming for? Flood 99233. I don't know if I mentioned your name. Thanks for following, by the way. Remote can be on the player. But when you say remote, how am I linking it? I don't know what you mean by a remote. It's a node. I don't think this is something I've done before, so I'm a little bit lost. Add a camera 2D to the subview and a remote node. It has a node path you link to the camera 2D. In the subview. In the subview. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. I'm trying to follow the instructions. Player, add child node remote. On the viewport? Player. Player. Okay. So from the player, add child node. Right. As in remote transform? I've never seen that one before. What's this say? Remote transform 2D pushes its own transform 2D to another node 2D derived node in the scene. Okay, so that sounds like what you're saying. Okay. So add that. Then it wants me to do something. It wants me to path property must point to a valid node 2D. So I'm guessing that needs to point to the camera. Okay. Getting there. Remote path is the camera. Let's run. I need to put a border on there or something, I think. Or a different background color. Now it should work. I'm not seeing anything up here indicating that it does. It should be... Wait, where is it? It's not there. Up there. Oh, because it's not visible? Nope. Oh, actually, while you're here... Do you know what? Maybe you can solve this thing that I've struggled my head against. So I put a color rectangle here with the intention of it being behind everything. But even though it's at the top here, it's... Oh, I just worked out why. Oh, no. Yeah, I want the color rectangle to be behind everything, but the player is behind it. The container needs resizing. Oh, also there's that, you can see that background there too now. See the blank area to the right? Yep. That's the subview. Yes, yep. While I'm here, do you know how to make this background, like, see how my thing's faint? It's because it's behind this semi-transparent background. I want this to be in front of the background. Do you know how to fix that as well? This color rectangle, I can't figure out how to get it behind the player. Isn't it just the order on the tree that does that? Set it to canvas layer. Then set canvas layer to -100. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So it's like the Y value on a website. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. That was I couldn't figure that out. I knew it would be simple. I just didn't know what the simple answer was. Yeah, that's perfect. That's what that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh no, to check that. Oh no, to check the layer next time. Right, so that's also filtering over. Yeah, that goes over. It's like semi-transparent. But the view is there, but it's not actually doing anything yet, right? So now we need to deal with that. If I make that a bit bigger, where's the values for that layout? I want to make that a square about that size. Set stretch mode on. Stretch on. Aha! Cool. And now, that wasn't showing anything. Is that because it's zoomed in? If I do like zoom 0.5 or 0.25, is that going to show more then? Is that what the problem was, maybe? I want it to be a mini-map. It's my guess. Yeah, so I'm not... Oh, yeah, I'm not seeing anything on that map yet. So that's something I've done wrong there, is it's not currently showing me something. Smaller numbers is further away. Yeah, that's what I want, right? I want to show like a big area in the little minimap. So my understanding is smaller numbers is what I want. I don't know why this is so fun. I'm just, well, waiting for a message because I think you know how to fix it. This is genuinely fun just driving around. The derpy face, yes, it's the Godot logo. I didn't make this, so I will have to change it at some point. Check the remote, might be something to do with that, okay. Player. No, remote. Update. Position, rotation, scale, transform. Remote path, camera 3D. Oh, should this be underneath this thing? Should that be there? Because I just realized it doesn't... Otherwise it doesn't know what to share, right? Is it something like that? How do I tell it that I want that? I want that, but zoomed out. Did you point to the subview camera? I pointed to... Oh, because you don't know which one I've pointed to. Fire camera. And... Minimap camera. Yes, so I pointed to the correct one. Should just... Okay, so it should just be... Okay, I'm a player, so I had that correct already. Okay. So, yeah, so it did point to the correct camera. It's pointing to the minimap camera. And the minimap camera is is in the viewport there. Let me just turn while I'm here. Turn this stuff off. Under update of the remote is what it uses to follow. Position, rotation, and scale. So I'm assuming they're all meant to be on. Actually, no, I don't necessarily want to change the... So I want it to always face upwards. I think so. That means I don't want rotation. I don't want to change the scale. I just want the position to be the same for the player all the time, if I'm understanding correctly. But even then, it should still be showing the items. So if I got a mini-map camera there, I've got 0.5, so I'll make it half, like more, twice zoomed out from what I normally have. Is the offset correct? Yeah, I think center is what I want. If I go over there, that appears on there, but that's because it's behind it. Should work, so you must be missing something. Yeah, fair enough. And unfortunately, I have no idea. What I could do, I guess, though, is look up. So if we look up, there should be documentation for this, right? So if we go to the go.docs, surely they've got something in here about a minimap. I mean, obviously, there's multiple ways to do it. So the way you said it is one way. I'm guessing there's other ways as well. So maybe the way they're going to suggest is going to be different entirely. Show minimap with true draws an overview of the script near the... No, that's the minimap for the...
We don't want trees here.
We do want trees here. No, wait, no, we want to chop them down. Yes, sorry, no, that's good. Yes, good. Chop down the trees. Perfect. I thought you were planting more. Exactly. No, no trees. No, thank you. Okay, this is talking about minimap. The minimap here it's referring to, I think, is actually talking about the... this is called a minimap, this little thing for the text. So that's not quite what I'm looking for. DD script. Minimap. Follow. Player. Okay, so someone's done it as a video there, but I'm not going to watch the video on stream. How to create a real-time minimap. Super easy way to build a from tile map. That looks like it's a different approach to what we're doing. You're stuffed up. No, too late. You've cut it down. Thank you. I'm happy. Cutting down is good. If I refund, it's already taken off the negative anyway. So I have to go in and change a whole... It's more than just refunding. I have to go and change the numbers as well. No, you did what you really wanted to do. What you really wanted to do was deforest the place. So good job. This is very tiny. You probably can't read this, so let's zoom in a bit. Just want a real-time mini-map in one part of the screen. A second zoomed-out camera in a smaller viewport. They recommend a static, unchanging sprite as a map. How do you get it in real time? Two ways. Have a background static or generated once and draw lots of dots and mini sprites on it. Well, that's not really what I want to do. I just want to do the same camera. Use a secondary viewport. This is what you told me to do. That renders the world zoomed out. It could be performance hungry. It's not a big deal right now. Also, it may not look exactly like you expect. For example, you usually want to see clearly on the minimap, but because it's just zoomed out, you'll see tiny little pixel mash. That's fine for now as well. You take these two approaches. For a new map that rarely renders the world a second time, you actually need two viewports. One that renders the world and only the world, not the GUI. One that renders the same world but on a smaller rectangle. The first viewport will have your game world as a child, with one camera for the player and another for the minimap. Split screen platformer. So split screen is basically doing to us doesn't even exist. So they're basically suggesting to do it the same way you did, if I understand that correctly. Also, my music stopped. How dare my music stop? I'm going to open up, not the fast-paced one. I'm going to do the relaxing music this time. Show you what we've done so far. So, we've got a thing here. It slowly drains battery when it's running, but if we're moving, it drains battery faster. And as we pick up bits of dirt on the ground, the tank fills up. Currently, the tank is infinite capacity. It can just keep filling up forever until we run out of battery. But that's basically the gameplay loop so far. As stated, it's not perfect yet. For now, the goal is just to learn how things work, I think. But even if it's got performance issues, because I'm not planning to release this at this stage, it's just for experimentation, I'm happy to make it work somehow. But if you're not sure what the problem is, I might just leave it and hide it for now. But this square pudgy is going to be, or was going to be, a mini-map. So like a smaller overview of the world that we're in so far. But basically, at the moment, it's just a race to get as many things in your tank as possible until the battery runs out. Because there's nowhere to charge yet. But that's something, actually, there you go. So you could have, I'm just brainstorming how this could work. In some ways, it could be like a fog of war, like Age of Empires, where you just start in a random part of the building, and you don't know where the charging dock is. So you've got to find the charging dock as your first step, so you know where to charge, and then you can venture out to clean up rubbish every now and then. But your first step will be like to find the charging dock to establish your home base before you run out of battery. There's all kinds of ways this game could take. There we go, we've got 100. Oh, the battery's about to run out. Let's see how many we can get before the battery runs out. And I'm dead. There you go. Nothing else happens yet, but we can deal with the sort of game over screen later. Oh, and these are still spawning. Okay, I'll fix that. So when we've run out of battery, when game's over, we need to stop the dirt from spawning. Let's do that while we're here. So, actually, what I'll also do for now, hide the mini-map. I think, does that hide it from the actual game as well, or is it just hide it from my preview here? It does hide it from the game as well. Okay. I'm not sure if that was just an editor thing or not. So, I'm guessing you can set that as visible in code, right? If that's affecting, is there like a hide and show? I want to check that now. If I go into the script and I'll just say, I don't know, what's something I can access, like the area dot. Right, yeah, there you go, hide, show. There you go. Good to know. High score 112. That's another thing. You can track high scores maybe. But at the moment, it's very proof of concept. This is not how the gameplay loop's going to work exactly. Right, so what I want to do is fix that bug that I just discovered. So when you die, and what I'll do is I'll actually make the battery drain faster so you die faster as well. So if we say 0.5, 0.8, at the moment, I'll also delete this, because at the moment there's no vacuum mode. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to delete this emap. I'm going to delete all the vacuum stuff just because we're not using it right now. If vacuuming, if the battery drain doesn't exist. There you go. So at the moment we're either moving, we're stopped, or we're charging, which we don't even have charging yet. Let's delete that as well. Just do the stuff that we're actually supporting. Keep it simple. All right, there we go. They're either stopped or moving. All right. Tank content. So how about we do tank capacity as well? I don't know. No, actually, we don't want tank capacity yet. That's kind of like our score. We don't want to limit that artificially. Oh, here's a question for you. If you're still here, Jackal. So if I want to track high scores, the way that I would do that would probably be to write to a file somewhere what the score is, and be able to read the file. So if I just want to store the highest number that's ever been scored, how do I write to a file? I'm guessing there's a way to do that. File dialog. So I just want to have like a hard-coded file path within file access. Okay. So if I try to go into... So when the game dies is where we're going to do this. So that will be in the main script, I think. Also, on dust generation, I need to do that. It's a dust generation timer. When the player dies... I'm jumping around the place. On battery empty, I want to do... I'm going to stop the timer for the dust generation. Battery timer is there. Dust generation timer is out here. So I don't have access to the dust generation timer from this spot, do I? When battery dies, Leiger explodes. Right. Access. That's called a node, isn't it? Node outside tree. Get node to get any node in the tree. Okay. Get node. Dust. Is that going to work? Why is that not auto-completing? I wonder if that'll work. You can use IF-hard access. Yep, I'll do that in a second. This should stop the dust from generating, right? Let me just quickly test that, and then I'll try doing this at high score. So we want to burn through our battery. We have sped it up a little bit. I shouldn't get the same score as what I got before. I might need to speed it up even further. I'm intentionally trying to drain the battery. So that's something I could do. Maybe I just need to add a modifier key that for debugging that will drastically speed it up just if I'm holding the modifier key. The background color is horrible, by the way. That's fair enough. It's better than the grey because it means I can see things better. But oh, what happened? Did I just crash? Ah, yeah. Okay, so we hit that. Right. Okay. And somehow I seem to. Oh, why is this? Is this the debug stuff? Was this added by this or by me? I don't remember adding those Ds. Are we currently debugging? We're in debug mode. Yeah, we are. Oh, cool. Okay. We've paused execution. So function stop in base. So null instance. It's trying to call stop on null, so it didn't actually get it. So how do I? Is this a stop? Skip breakpoints. It's not what I want. I want to stop execution. Stop. Okay. So that seemed to. Leave that there. So if I go get node, example, assume your current node is character and the following tree. So I'm character. Possible paths are sword. Okay, so dot dot to go back up one and then into swamp. Okay, I'll do that. Right. So I want to go from player. I'm going up a level to the main, and then I'm going dust generation timer. And I'm also going to make this even faster. 1 and 2. That'll be 50 seconds. Let's make it 4. Be like 25 seconds. Get parent. Oh! Okay, cool. Let's just check if this works first. And I'll try refactoring to get parent. Okay, so the battery stopped. Probably want to delete them too. But it doesn't seem to be generating new ones, so that's good. So that worked. You also just mentioned doing get parent. So if I do... keyword owner gets to the top of the tree. Doing homework while watching Leiger stream, is this good? Yeah, doing homework is good. Are you expecting that to work? If it's a saved scene, owner will get the root node of the saved scene only. Not the scene it's instantiated to. Okay. So in other words, what you're saying is if it's dust, it will get this, not the main screen that the dust has been instantiated into programmatically. If I'm understanding what you're saying there. That's the only thing that I'm instantiating outside of main at the moment. Yep. I've just lost my... where I am. There. So let's see if that works now. I'm going to make this go even faster. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add that modifier key I just mentioned. Let's go add new action. Drain, battery, faster modifier. And to do that, I'm going to hold down control. Or on my gamepad, or hold down like left trigger or something. Gamepad? Hello? Doesn't want to start up. It might be... oh no, now it's starting up. Okay. So that will speed up that. And then I'm going to say down here... battery drain equals 0. So then we're going to say... let's just do battery drain as like 3 normally. Beep, beep, boop. You guys talking alien? Hopefully it's nice and soothing. Soothing alien language. So the modifier would be down here. So I've determined a battery drain amount. And I'm about to work out the battery level. So now, add debug modifier to speed up battery. If needed. If activated. So if... input get what was it? Is action pressed? Modifier. Then we want to say battery drain. Times equals 5. So it's 5 times what it is. But actually, I just realized we want to put that above this line. because we still want to limit it at the battery level. So if we're holding down that button, it will drain the battery 5 times faster. What a feature to add to your Roomba. Press this button and the battery will die faster on your Roomba. It's a feature, we swear. So there, that's normal speed, and then there we go. That's way faster. Nice. Okay, that's cool. That's gonna make testing easier. Okay, now the other thing we've got to do. Jekyll mentioned file access. Definitely wanting a refund. Or definitely wanting a rebut or rebuttal. It's an interesting place to put the word but. So, file access. So, my guess is I can access that directly. Butspot, no, Butspot's good. Right, so high scores. I think I'm gonna run that as... Oh, where are we? Player. Battery empty. On battery empty. Runs to where? The main. Okay, I'll do it in the main. Battery is dead. Then I'm also gonna say... determine if this is a high score. So, file access, I'm guessing that's something I can do programmatically, right? And that changed color as if it was a keyword that it recognizes. Function save, content, load. Here's a sample, okay. Okay, so if I grab that, and there's a user data folder, so that's namespace to this game, right? So I'm guessing if I had the same file name in a different game, it will not overwrite the other game. Yeah, it will just be for this specific game. So that's, if I go to this now. Actually, yeah, so can I do, here's something I haven't done yet. Can I do a self-contained script that's not attached to an object for utility methods like this? Like, can I go like new script or something on its own, or do I have to do it as a node? I guess I'd... Like, where would you put utility functions? You can make a singleton/auto load. Oh, yes, I have seen auto-loading thing happen in one of the tutorials. Yes, okay. So, for that, I'd do a new scene, right? I just do a basic node as a scene. And, make a new script. What do I call this? Shared code or something. Attach script. And then, yeah, and then you once I've shared code, and this stuff I'm going to put in there. I'll deal with that in a second while that's erroring. Project settings, and then auto load was here, and then we go to add shared code scene, add, close. This isn't relaxing music. I find it relaxing. Right, and then my question is, how do I access that? I guess it's a global function. So, called every frame. Well, yeah, I'll leave these here as reference because I'm guessing they're not going to do any harm. But I want to do high score save, high score, or high score set, high score get, right? Value. integer. I don't think that's a thing that I can do. No. Okay. Oops, sorry. I think it's blocked something. It detected shared code.save as a link. I can see what you wrote, though. There is a whitelisted list of links, but I for some reason it thought that was a URL. Yeah, okay. Shared code.save / load from another script. Ah, okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, high core set and get I think I'm going to do. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to return, so var file, high scores. And for now, I'm just literally going to store one high score in there, and that's it. But later I might be able to store multiple. So, read content, get as text, return content. Shared code, right. So if I now go to the player, no, main. Nope. Is it player? On battery empty. Yeah, it was player. Okay. I might move some of this stuff around later. Actually, I'll leave it there as sample text for how to do that. I'm going to do a shared code. That's awesome. Love it. That's awesome. Right. So current score is what? The current, for now we're doing the current score as the tank contents will be what the current score is. And the high score, also personal best, is high score get. If current score is greater than personal best, then we do shared code high score set current score. And for now, I'm just going to do a print score current score, high score, personal best. Your high score. I can deal with displaying that on the interface better later. Also, hopefully that Nightbot thing didn't time you out. Or if it did, I think I've set it to like the minimum of like 1 or 2 seconds. Backslash n is a new line. Okay. I think what I want to do is bar score display is an empty string, and I'm going to do score display. Can you do dot equals for appending? I want to append that plus equals. Okay. Thank you. And then high score, personal best. And then if I get a high score, I'm going to put this on the end without a... Yeah, I'll do it all in one row, right? So I'll do that. But then I want to add on the end your high score in brackets only if we get the high score. And then out here, I'm going to do a print for display. So it's all on one line, intentionally. Your score. F5. I'm getting some errors down there, I just noticed. Right. Let's do my speed up. Drain battery really fast. And I crashed. Get as text in base null instance. Right, so file is null. Returns null if opening the file failed. You can use get open error to check the error that occurred. Okay. That would probably be because the file doesn't exist yet. Because it's the first time it's being created, I'm guessing is the reason. So if I go to shared code, if error, probably because the file wasn't there, yeah. How do I access get open error to get the open error? How do I access get open error? Would it be on file? Yes, it's on file. Okay. And then if it's a print error and then return, I don't know, something exorbitantly high, just for now, but doesn't reset another high score. We'll deal with that later. To fix this stupid thing. Number. Right, okay. It'd be nice if it had a to-do list somewhere as well. Automatically detect your to-do comments. So, if I guess if I detect an error, I can create the file as well. Let me see what happens here. Let's see what the error says. Probably just like file not found or something, right? Attempt to call function get as text on null. Ah. In 4.2 they're adding code regions and to-do. Oh, cool. Okay, awesome. Good to know. I think I'm on 4.1.3 or something. Yep. Code, wait, what's code regions? So code regions I would have understood to be like the collapsible regions here. What is code region something else? Also, I'll go here. File load. Because it's free, which happens when it goes out of scope. Close we use to close it explicitly. Files automatically closed. What I could probably do is check here. File exists. Okay, so here's the other thing I want to do. So I want to go here, and part of the reason I wanted to do this thing here is I want to do a like a shared variable. High score file high scores equals that, and then I can just reference that in all the places I need to reference it. File exists. If file exists, try to read it. I think that detecting errors is failing, but that's fine. I'll just treat it like it's going to work all the time for now. No, sorry, I don't want to do that. What I want to do is go if file exists, if not file exists, we will create it. And store 0, and then we'll immediately try to access it again, so that always exists. Then that should work. Why is that not working? Probably because it's not a string. Yep. Oh, hash region / in region. Gotcha. I don't tend to use that in places where it's available, but maybe I should. I am aware of what you're talking about now. I have seen that before in other editors. Right, this should now, if you're trying to access it for the first time and it doesn't exist, it creates it with a score of 0, and then it will try to open it. Obviously, some other errors can still happen, but the file not found should hopefully be fixed if that's what's causing it. We haven't actually determined that is definitely the cause yet. Nope, we've still failed. Invalid operands, int and string and operator. Okay, so current score is an integer, and personal best is a string. Is a string? Yeah. Okay, so high score get. Also, I just realized it had jumping. That's awesome. I can actually jump to that function. That's exactly what I want to do. I just realized that it had that without even realizing. Just control click. Right. I want to always return this as an integer because it's specifically for high scores. So get the content and then return how do I convert to an integer? To int. It's actually literally called to int. Oh, and you do it that way. Okay, so the JavaScript way of accessing it. Right. So if I go to shared code, content.toInt. That should work, right? Burp. Burp. Did I burp? Sorry. I didn't realize if I did that. I should have muted, but I didn't even realize I was doing that. Okay, we're erroring again. Invalid type in function store string. Invalid type in function store string. In base file access cannot convert argument 1 from int to string. Oh, okay. That is not letting me autocomplete. Why not? So what's happened is we're trying to, yeah. Basically, it's unhappy. It doesn't do automatic type conversions, I guess. I need to explicitly say it. What's happening? A non-existent function to string. Oh, an int doesn't. Oh, okay. So in other words, would it just be that then? At least the errors are helpful. That's the main thing. There we are. Your score is 4, high score 0, new high score. Right. Let's exit the game, because we don't have a way to restart yet. We'll restart it manually. And now we'll get more than 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it will drain battery really fast. Your score 7, high score 4, new high score. Cool. And then I will deliberately not get a high score, and hopefully it shouldn't do the same thing. Drain battery, and oh no, I'm missing. Your score 2. Yeah, there you go. It all works. Cool. That's awesome. I guess the next step... This is addictive. The next step is to then make it that I can restart, right? So, if you finish the game... Oh, actually, another thing I want to do. I want to adjust the view. Player camera. I want to be able to see slightly more than I can see there. Also... I think I'm going to run into the edge. Is there an edge here? Or does it continue forever? I'm expecting there to be an edge, but I'm not seeing it. Why am I not reaching that edge? Is that not actually an edge? Well, I guess the color rectangle... Oh, the color rectangle is on the canvas layer. Yeah, no, the color rectangle is part of the UI. So no matter where I go, it's going to be there. That's not actually moving. Okay, I understand. But what I do want to do is... save. What's the uptime? 3.5 hours. It's currently 2 AM, so I should probably get some sleep. Well, that says, yes, there you go. So I start at 10:15 PM local time in Adelaide. Alright, in Australia. I am going to head off. Thank you very much, especially to Jackal, Gamer. You've been a massive help. Appreciate it. I would not have gotten as far as I did without your help. Robots hate listening to pop music. They're heavy metal fans. What I'm going to do is raid out to someone. I'll see if anyone is playing or building with Godot right now. So if anyone is using Godot, I will raid them. And if not that, maybe Game Maker or something similar. So let's see. Software and game dev. Software and game dev. Godot 4 game dev. Yeah, there's someone here that's playing. How about we try this guy? I don't know if he's family friendly or not. So be warned, it's possible he's not. But we'll raid JD does dev. And I think there's a raid message that I set up. I did. Okay. I did that recently. Thanks very much for your help, Jackal. Thanks everyone else who's been here. Pudgy Wudgy, Becca, and Ancients. I'm going to copy the raid alert in. We'll catch you later. Have an awesome day. Thank you very much.